Hello, Swamp Fox, and welcome to the April 2025 edition of Fox Chatter. On this episode, we'll cover some recent events across the wing, have some guests from Family Readiness and STARBASE to give us some background on some great programs we have available at McIntyre. We'll also have a chat with Chief Bowen as we discuss how the wing will implement the directive to conduct standards and readiness reviews. I want to start by saying thank you for your effort during the March Super Drill exercise. I'm proud of the way you all jumped headfirst into the scenario and tackled problems many of us have never seen before. We operated in 2 displaced locations while also fighting in a contested environment at home station. It was tough. We threw a lot at you, but you did what the Swamp Fox have always done, which is find a way to get it done. There's no doubt in my mind that we are better for it, and I know that we're capable of handling any challenge that can be thrown at us in the future. It also frees up April since we've already completed those drill days, so enjoy the extra weekend off if you're not activated as part of O&E. Yes, we're right into the next event, so many of you have already processed through the PDF line and have started your mobilization orders. O&E is our wing focus for the next several months. We've done it before. Many of you know what to expect from it, having done it before, but we also need to be prepared for the unexpected. So please be aware for potential for complacency. It's usually when things are running smoothly that we let our guard down, and that's when unexpected curveballs are thrown our way. So if you do see a curveball potentially coming our way, identify it and then take the action necessary to handle it. This mission is extremely important, but so is your safety and your well-being. So if you're having issues, please let your supervisors know so that they can help. We have resources available to help everybody out, and we'll figure out a way to work through it. We'll talk through a few of those resources we have available here later in this episode. It has been a busy month. We've been rushing to get through an exercise and getting everything in order for this mobilization. This may be one of the first times we've actually gotten most of our deployers on orders in time to receive their pre-deployment TRICARE benefits, which occur 6 months before deployment. So that is a huge win, but it's also a huge lift for the wing. So thanks to all the projos, the deployment managers, the IPR office, FSS, finance, supply, medical, and even individual employers for getting all of the requirements done so that we can get to this point. We still have some things to work on, and that largely is the process. So it's important to get these processes established and smoothed out so it becomes easier for us to do it the next time, which may occur with little or no notice. So it may seem like overkill at times, but that's how we're going to make ourselves better for the future. So thank you again. I appreciate all of the effort. This month, we also hosted General Nordhaus, who is the Chief of the National Guard Bureau. This was an amazing opportunity for us to host a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at McIntyre. His intended purpose was centered on Army events, but he made a special point to stop by ACA and visit our airmen performing a vital mission. He was a former 1st Air Force commander who is in charge of the ACA enterprise, so it's important to him to stop by and say hello and see how that mission is continuing to go on. His message was pretty simple. He has an RPM acronym, which is Readiness, People, and Modernization. Those are 3 things that we are already focused on here at the wing, so it's nice to know that we're in line with what the Chief of the National Guard Bureau is also asking. He also took some time to recognize 2 of our outstanding airmen for their hard work and dedication. And those were Lieutenant Michelle Jenkins and Master Sergeant Bobby Coleman. So Lieutenant Jenkins is officer in charge of Force Development Flight and the FSS, and she oversees the development and implementation of programs that enhance professional and personal growth of airmen. She's also dual-hatted as a section commander and knowledge management officer at 15th Air Force. Over there, she leads a team of 10 and has maintained 104 commander programs to include evaluations, fitness testing, and decorations for 125 staff members. Michelle does a great job across the board in her military capacity, and she's also a Title V airman for us here in finance, where she does amazing work as well. Master Sergeant Bobby Coleman is the MXS production supervisor. He's a team player with a great attitude, and he helps us produce a lot of sorties. So he's a key planning team member for the maintenance group's CRI, FRI, jet generation, cargo movement, and processing plan. He also ensured that we exceeded our generation requirements, ensured 100% success of 400 short tons of cargo, and over 400 maintenance personnel being deployed or processed. He was also instrumental to our success in preparing our jets for WESP and checkered flag. All right, another event in March that the wing had the opportunity to participate in is the National Guard Association of South Carolina's annual conference that was held 8th and 9th of March in Hilton Head, South Carolina. This was the first time I had ever been, and unfortunately, I wish I had gone much earlier in my career. So it was a great opportunity to meet other National Guardsmen from South Carolina, specifically in the Army, but also just hang out with people from McIntyre and get a chance to know them a little better and spend a little time in fellowship. And also there was a dining in, kind of dining out ceremony and an awards presentation. So at that awards presentation, we received an award for the highest participation rate for a small command, which the fighter wing has received for the past 4 years straight. What I'd like to do is to continue to receive that award and to continue to beat the Army and be better than them. So I'm going to ask everybody to consider joining the National Guard Association of South Carolina and of the United States. It is a fantastic organization, and I think it's probably part of your professional duty as a member of the military to be a member of a professional association that supports your career. All right, so what is the National Guard Association of South Carolina? They are an organization that is dedicated to representing the Army and Air National Guard members, both drilling and retired, and advocating for them through legislation to provide better conditions for us. Things that they have already worked on in the past that are benefits to you are VA home loan guarantees for guardsmen after 6 years of service, providing full commissary benefits to everyone that's currently serving. That used to be limited to a specific number of days per month. The 180 days of pre and post deployment track care, which we just talked about by getting our orders for mobilization in early. Reduced retirement pay age for every 90 days of active duty that you've served, including Title 32 time towards your post 9/11 GI Bill education benefits. And also, we just talked about General Nordhaus. Without NAUGUS, the Chief of the National Guard Bureau wouldn't have a seat at the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So that is something they were able to implement, which gives the National Guard a seat at the table when it comes to talking about military affairs. The things that they've done in the past are great, but they're also continuing to work on things for you in the future. That includes TRICARE for all troops. That would authorize all National Guard and Reserve members access to TRICARE Reserve Select, including members who are federal technicians. There's also the Major Richard Starr Act that they are working on that would allow medically retired veterans to be approved to collect both their retirement pay and their VA disability at the same time, regardless of the amount of time that they have served. They're also looking to increase the federal military leave program for technicians from 15 days to 30 days. And they're looking to expand the post 9/11 GI Bill so that guardsmen receive the same GI Bill benefits as the active component. These are super important things that are never going to happen without their legislation efforts and their advocacy. And the only way that they can do that is by us becoming members and supporting them financially. So there are a couple ways that you can join. You can either do it annually or you can do it as a lifetime membership. I would recommend a lifetime membership because it's actually going to be cost savings in the end. And that is also going to carry over into your retirement. So it is an initial upfront cost, but they also have programs that are going to help pay you back, and you'll probably recoup your money at some point in your career. So if you have children who are of the age where it's time to go to college, they have a scholarship specifically for those kids, somewhere in the order of $1,000 per year for up to 2 years. So that's automatically going to give you your membership fee back just in that one transaction. All right, if you're interested in joining, you can look at their website, ngasc.org, and they'll have some links there that you can click, and it'll also have the current rates. Please look at their webpage or reach out to your command team, and they should have information to help you get pointed in the right direction. And they will immensely appreciate your support, and know that everything that you put into that organization is probably going to come back to help you in the future. Again, please consider it, and thanks. I also want to thank Master Sergeant Mark Hunter and Master Sergeant Darnell Johnson for stepping up to be the hosts of the hospitality suite and providing enough hospitality for both the Army and the Air for 2 nights straight. So I think they actually enjoyed interacting with everybody, but it definitely was some work. So I appreciate their efforts in dealing with everything that occurs with the hospitality suite. Some upcoming events in April are the Top Gun drill meet. So that's going to be 12 April, and it'll be hosted over at the Jaffrick, just inside the gate there when you enter the base. So this is junior ROTC cadets from high schools across the state who come in and do drill exercises. And it's a great opportunity to give back to the base and help recruiting. So this is a huge recruiting event for us. These kids are in junior ROTC. They're interested in the military, but they only see it from a classroom. And this is a chance for them to come to an actual military base and see how things work and operate and get a little closer to our mission. And that may help entice them to want to serve in the military. All right, our first topic for this month is going to be the standards and readiness reviews that have been given to us as a tasking from the Secretary of Defense. And it's requiring all units to conduct standards readiness reviews quarterly, or 4 per year. And that involves inspections to ensure airmen are wearing their uniforms correctly, obeying customs and courtesies, and then it expands way beyond that into general readiness topics. Those readiness topics are your IMR, your PT tests, if you have a family care plan that's current or if it's required, and everything else that we're already reporting on for readiness to include DERS, sorts, and some other things that occur at the commander and above level. When most people hear that, they freak out and they think that we're turning the apple cart over and we're doing a bunch of different things. But what I want you to know is those things have always been important to us, and we were already doing a majority of them. So implementation of this is actually going to be fairly easy. So I got Chief Bowen here with us, and we just want to kind of explain where we're coming from with this and how we're going to get there. So Chief, welcome.
Thank you, Colonel. Yeah, pertaining to the SOR, the Standards Readiness Review, as the Colonel said, we're there, right? There's some loose ends that we need to tidy up a little bit, and I have tasked the first sergeants and really the shop chiefs to really look at their people closely on a daily basis. We're going to approach this from just a gentle reminder of what dress and appearance looks like, the customs and courtesies, what's required and what's expected, and really what we should be doing on an everyday basis. Going back to the uniform, for instance, we looked at a room full of people and we found very little infractions, but they were small infractions. It was patches. So it's just, that gentle touch, that gentle reminder of, hey, let's do the easy right thing, get the correct patches. And from my perspective is when a individual, an NCO, wears the wrong patch, it basically gives that airman the permission to wear the wrong patch as well. And, as today, a couple of the NCOs that I approached about their patches, they thanked me for the reminder. Actually, I think they just forgot to take their patches off and put the correct patch on. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and it's about more than patches, right? I mean, that's just a thing everybody's going to focus on because it seems to be out in front of you. But this is really about readiness and adherence to standards, because you have to adhere to standards for us to be ready and to be a true fighting force, to trust and rely on each other.
Yeah, and to that point, it's readiness. That a room full of people went through the PDF and everybody was ready. Medically, through the personnel side, the finance side, to me, it's just phenomenal. That's the way it should be. And you can only contribute that to our UDMs, our supervisors, our chiefs, really staying on top of and I'm air quoting, the true readiness of PT up to date, their IMR, the medical blocks are checked off, and you've had your PHA, you've gone to see the doc, you've done your MHA, DERS is up to date, your ID is up to date, you have the correct dog tags. So that's, to me, I will give all the credit to our UDMs and our chiefs and our shop chiefs, making sure things are done correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this shouldn't be that big of a muscle movement, and it should be simple, and it's happening kind of in the background. And then the follow-on standards and readiness reviews will occur the same way. They're going to occur within your units. Commanders and first sergeants have the discretion of executing them how they see fit. But the important piece of it is the readiness side. So those reports are going to get funneled up through the IG. The IG is going to compile them, and then we're going to submit them to the Air Force to show our compliance. A majority of the things that are required, we were already doing. So it's really just putting all the data together and then submitting it and getting credit for our homework we've already done. So, for example, the wing staff, Colonel Ornberger, was in charge of that. He's showed me his slides already for the month where they've already accomplished 95% of these requirements because they're already done. You're just taking the data that's already available to you and putting it together. And then looking at the order that came down, I mean, there's some words in there that, I mean, they definitely ring true. And it says this is more than a dress and appearance inspection. It's used to identify and address factors that are inhibiting mission readiness and effective execution. And it's also empowering unit leaders to take action to push their units in the right directions to ensure that they're ready. And then at the end of the day, the strength of our military is our belief in each other and our sheer commitment to give 100% each and every day. And how we appear, dress, and act is our reflection of that. So
I absolutely agree. It is, the uniform aspect of it to me is the easy button. The shop chiefs, the first sergeants, the flight chiefs, they see their people every day. And they see the reports on PT. They see the IMR reports. And to me, that's where the buck really stops. And I don't say that in a derogatory way, but it is the shop chief has that first touch with the individuals within the respective shops, squadrons, and groups. And they are doing what they're supposed to do. I came from the shop, so I understand what it's all about. It's just really that constant messaging. And I think at some point we hit and miss that target. But based off what I saw this morning and the messaging that we've been putting out consistently over the last couple of weeks, the message is taking hold. And I have no doubt that we will meet every aspect of the SRR requirement. And it started today.
Yeah, great. Well, it's nice to hear that some of the things we're trying to put in place have worked out. So those exercises where we trudge through some PDF lines are paying off now. And now hopefully in the future, we just maintain that level, and PDF lines in the future are just easy.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. It's all about getting better, taking the lessons learned from past exercises, the cries and exercises that WIT looks at, and taking the lessons learned and getting better.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks, Chief, for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks for everything you're doing for everyone on base.
Thank you, Colonel.
All right. Up next, we're going to have two guests from STARBASE. We got Miss Jessica Caton, who's a STARBASE Deputy Director, and Tiara Woods, who is the Camp Coordinator. So, Jessica and Tiara, welcome. Feel free to tell us all the interesting things you got for STARBASE.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. So STARBASE is a DoD premier education program. It focuses on STEAM education. And how that program looks here is that the kids from different local elementary schools come out and they spend about 5 days with us. It's usually fifth grade students. During that time, they participate in hands-on, minds-on activities. It exposes them to real-world applications. And so STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, design, and mathematics. And so they get to see those in play here at McIntyre. And it really gets the kids excited because they do get to see that real world application of these different careers. It helps build their confidence. And like you mentioned, the rockets, that's highly anticipated. It's the most coolest experience. The kids really look forward to that. That's how it kind of looks during the school year. I'll let you talk about summer camp and what we got coming up and what they can look forward to with that.
Alrighty, so I get to bring in the fun summer camp. Our first camp is going to start June 9th, and it's going to be for our friends that are going into the 5th grade. Our second camp is going to start July 7th, and those are going to be for our friends who are going into the 6th and 7th grade. And our last camp is going to start July 14th, and those are going to be for our older buddies who are been campers and they've returned to come back to camp, and it's going to be for the 8th and 9th graders. So this year we decided to do 3 camps, mostly because we found out that our friends love to come back. So we wanted to make sure that we had a program that was unique for them. Our 5th grade program is going to be ran as if it was just like our regular class with sprinkles of different fun and STEM activities. And then 6th, 7th grade camps and our 8th and 9th grade camps are going to be taking our curriculum and bumping it up a notch, adding more STEM, more technology, more hands-on experience with coding, just different things that they can do outside. And we're bringing those curriculums in to our STARBASE classroom.
Yeah. So who can come to these camps?
Okay. So the camps are for anyone who is Air Guard, Army Guard, or active reserve. And I do believe if they are members of our state employment tag facility. If you do have friends or your child has a friend that they want to come and enjoy the camp as well, we do allow for sponsorships. So even if you have a friend who has a friend, anything that their child may be interested in coming to camp, they can definitely be sponsored by you.
And is there a cost?
The camp is free, and the hours we like to run with McIntyre's workday hours. So this camps will always be ran Tuesday through Fridays. Entry time will be 7:15 and pickup time will be at 5 o'clock.
Okay. And then how do people register?
Great. I'm glad you asked. So we will be going live at registration on March the 26th, and it will be emailed out base-wide. There'll be flyers up. The flyer will have a QR code where you can scan it, and it'll give the link to the application. And you go ahead and fill it out and send it directly to our email.
Yeah. So that covers the camp piece. And you can always reach out to Tiara if you have questions.
Absolutely. And my information is located on the flyer.
Okay. And Jessica, going back to STARBASE, kind of the same questions. So you said it was for 5th graders. How do they get involved in that?
We usually send a inquiry to the different schools around the area, and they let us know. They're usually bused from their school to here. They usually get here about 8:30, and they spend most of the day with us. They usually depart about 1:30, a little after.
So my daughter did this years ago, and I thought it was pretty cool to see your kid at school, but she's at your workplace. And then she thought it was cool to see her dad while she's at school. So if people have children who are in 5th grade and at their schools, they just reach out to their school administration and ask them to...
Yeah, they can reach out to their administration. They can reach out to us. We do have a fresh new Facebook page. It's STARBASE Swamp Fox. You can find us there, or you can go to DOD starbase.org, I believe, and all the information is there as far as location, contact information, etc.
Yeah, great. Well, Jessica, Tiara, thanks for coming by. Thanks for telling everybody about STARBASE and the summer camp, and hopefully people get interested and send their kids over.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, next up we have Nick Thomas, our Family Readiness Program Manager, who's going to talk to us about some family readiness programs. So Nick, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here. I am Nick Thomas. I'm the Family Readiness Program Manager. And what our program does is we center on wherever your military and civilian life intersect, whether positively, negatively, or indifferent, we can help you with resources, services, and really clearing the mud of all the programs, resources, and services out there for our service members and families. I am not necessarily new to the role, though I am new to the Swamp Fox. I was come aboard end of October, early November here. Prior to that, I was with the 158th Fighter Wing in Vermont doing the same role. So I was a Family Readiness Program Manager there. And I've worked also on the Army side for Army Family Programs. So I've got about 8-9 years in family services. Supported a whole bunch of deployments, both Air and Army. Have been part of various ceremonies and recognitions and things of that nature, just helping our service members get access to those resources. And I think in the digital age, it's important to have somebody to tell you, what you qualify for, what you don't, especially in the Guard environment. You can use AI, or ChatGPT, or Google to figure out a whole bunch of benefits. But digging into those benefits to see if you qualify to save yourself 30 minutes or an hour of an application that you wouldn't qualify for is huge. And so a perfect example in the Guard environment would be the VA loan, right? So if you want to get access to the VA loan, well, there's time and service requirements. There's stipulations on how many years if you've not deployed or if you've deployed. That works. Same with education, right? So if you were to come to my office, let me know what you wanted to accomplish or get done in your life. We could figure out some type of program, resource, discount, or service to help you get there.
All right. So who can utilize your services?
So the best part about our services within the Family Readiness umbrella is you don't necessarily have to be a military uniform member. So we take care of DEERS eligible spouses and children, as well as anyone that's connected to the family living in the household. One really common question that I get is, I have a adult child that's applying for college, but they've never had a resume or I've never written a college application before. Can I help an adult dependent? That's fine. And same with veterans, former service members. And I really want to specify a former Swamp Fox that might not be a veteran, that might not have gotten their 20. If you did do some type of connection to the 169th Fighter Wing in any capacity, you can come and get access to services. Same with various discharge types. We don't discriminate or anything like that as far as discharge type. So really, if you have access to the base through the gate and you can get to my office, you are eligible to receive services. With the caveat that certain programs that I offer will be catering towards your status. So for example, Military One Source, you need to be a military DEERS eligible person to access that. But to get a resume done, to have me look at your budget, to have me help you access community resources, I'll help anyone that walks in the door.
Yeah, so family readiness, very broad term. And you've mentioned things, resumes, VA benefits. What are some other examples of things that people come to you for?
Sure. So on the vacation and fun side of the house, a lot of members don't know about, example, the Armed Forces Vacation Club, which you can log on to and get access to cheap stays for vacations all throughout the country. If you don't have time to necessarily go out to the Shaw or the Fort Jackson or Charleston MWR location, I'm working on collaborating with those to try to become like a signature for that. So we're attempting to broaden all of the services that are available here at McIntyre, in addition to vacations and fun and stays in that regard. If you are in not only needing a budget, but if you're in a financial hardship, I can fill out applications and help the member or family member or person getting the services access Air Force Aid Society, the National Guard Relief Foundation, and various others. So if you're having a fiscal hardship, or if we have wildfires going on, hurricanes, you name it, if you just need to be pointed in the right direction, we can take care of you.
So it sounds like anything I have a problem with, I just ask you, and then you're going to figure out a way to try to get us help. And if you can't, point us in another direction. So it's almost anything you want.
Anything. I like to call it like a Swiss Army knife of resources, right? So the biggest thing that I like to say also for our service members is I'm a time saver. So let's say your family is going on vacation and you know you're going to Florida or Georgia, and your spouse is like, well, I want to like find some stuff to do, like who accepts military discounts? If you don't have the time to do that also, you can come to my office and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing and we're going to this area. Can you help me track down some discounts or attractions? I can take the burden of time off of you. So that's, I think, the biggest thing is helping our members navigate those resources, find something applicable, but you're not necessarily having to do that. I'll drop you a communication, phone call, email with a summary of what I find. You think of it like almost like AI, but with a human behind it.
Yeah. And how do they contact you?
So I've got an office line and an email. The office line is 803-647-8089, DSN extension 8089. And my email is my first name, Nicholas.Thomas, my last, .25 at us.af.mil.
And where's your office located?
We are located in building 157. For those on base, that's the canteen, across from the credit union and Shopette.
There's a lot of information there. So it's a very valuable resource to all of our folks. So if you need anything in the family readiness arena, then please reach out to Nick. And he's obviously got all of the resources available to help you out. So
Yep. And the best part about it too is depending on the need, we can refer you out to resources on base, off base, regardless. I think that the other good thing about the program is you might not realize you need us till you do. And at that point, we're standing by ready for you. I make this my entire life. My entire world is helping our service members, whether good or bad. I'm here for you. So just know that when you walk in the door, regardless of what's going on, we got your six.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
That will wrap up today's edition of Fox Chatter. Next year will be in May, with Family Day taking place on Saturday, 3 May. It's going to be a great event, so please bring your families out to enjoy some music, food, and games as we celebrate being a Swamp Fox. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas that you'd like to funnel directly to leadership, please use the comment box on the Air Force Connect app. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.